Stream, start stream.
Camera's good.
Minimize. And we are live. What's up, guys? Thank you for coming back. Let's have some fun here tonight, man. There's a few things that we need to talk about. I think you do too. That you can't. That you mentioned to me offline. And let me start with one we were talking about earlier. Well, let me start with this. This happened maybe a couple weeks ago or a week ago.
Right.
Descenders. You know what that is?
The
biking game that was on PS4. It recently is just going to come out, or it's going to come out on the Xbox console. And Sony fans gave Mike Rose hell because the game is going on Xbox, and they call it shit. They call it shit, but then Mike Rose...
Like a hand-me-down. Take my hand-me-down.
And then Mike Rose comes back and says, hey, guys, it's been the best game or best-selling indie game for the last 12 months on both PS4 and PS5. If it's that much of a shit game, why is it selling pretty well?
Gotta love it.
I love when devs when they hit back when they hit back because the gaming community doesn't use the whole AAA suits, people in ties, not social media. I love there's a certain thing when a person defends their product. You come at bullshit, and he comes back with facts, and he hit him in the mouth, right? Facts. That's just it. Period. You can't dispute facts. This man decided. He broke down his stats. Look, it's sold this much on the PS4 and PS5. Now it's garbage. Are you kidding me? What's that about? That's when he exposed what I call fanboyism out of that part. Obviously, that's PlayStation. There's a bunch of people that are really cool about this. These are the fanatics. The toxics. The elites. The one that feels like this console is mine. It can't be done wrong. Nothing can be done wrong. Talk bad about it.
The game is great is when it's there, but if it expands to some other platform, then no, it's not good anymore.
I'm interested to find out what happens. That's what I'm interested in. That's what happens when that goes away.
Yeah, Medium's going to get an easy 95 plus on PlayStation.
Easy.
Because it's on PlayStation.
No struggle. No
struggles. Yeah, no. No struggles at all. At all. So yeah, I like what you said. Mike Rose, biting back.
Love it.
Just kind of tell him what the facts are. Hey, it's been the best-selling indie game for the last 12 months on both platforms, and all of a sudden, it's a crap game.
It's just amazing. It's just amazing how a logo, great,
yes.
Or like you slap a PS1 anything else other than PlayStation logo, PC, anything, it becomes trash. It becomes automatic 75 Metacritic, 65 Metacritic, 1 out of 5, IGN, they start talking their mess. Are you kidding me right now? Like, where does this need to be? When did this media buy start? How long has it been going on? It's been going on for a while. When did it start? It's my curiosity when it comes to all this.
Here's an extra post from Mike Rose. Since launching last August, we sold over 100,000 units on PlayStation. So I guess sorry of our shit game is selling so well on your console. So good for him.
Didn't even hit him with the Game Pass numbers. I think he hit him with It's not Game Pass with those numbers as well. Yeah, it is. I think he hit him with those numbers. I think somebody pushed him. Oh, you must be struggling. Not making money or whatever. Something like that. And he hit him back with no. Game Pass actually doing very well. It gives the game exposure.
I still don't understand.
But wait, hold on. But hold on. Twitter though. According to Twitter though, games on Game Pass because developers are getting shafted. Developers are not getting support on Game Pass. Absolutely not. They're getting raw deals. They're getting taken advantage of.
Yeah, they are. Poor guys. I feel sorry for them. Microsoft is totally screwing them over big time. Yep. And gotta support your developers, man. Buy those games. Don't get them on Game Pass.
How dare they? How can they get away with that? Like, how dare they Xbox not pay their ass for sticking a gun to their head and bring it over to Game Pass? Guys, it's coming.
That's how those conversations.
I mean, the responses here are just is cracking me up because you got all these GIFs, whatever you want to call them. That's fanboys for you.
There's fans and fanboys. There's toxic fanboys. So you got levels. Got what that guy was says. What's his name? His brother. Levels to this.
No, Meek Mill's levels to this.
Yeah. But the guy from YouTube that from Meek Mill. There's levels. There's levels. Obviously, there's levels.
Have you seen? Are you watching the stream like for yourself?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Did you see this picture right here?
Yeah.
Why can't we just write together? That's a good one.
I'll go ahead and tweeting it out. This conversation. Looking at okay, I see that going
Yeah,
on.
it's nuts, man. So good for Mike for biting back.
I've been a fan of his for a while now, because he, I don't recall a time where he came out and did that, and good for him. And good for him that he didn't say nothing wrong. He didn't say nothing wrong.
No, he didn't. He just threw out what he sees on his end, where the game is selling.
Yeah, you guys are talking from not seeing numbers. Let me show you numbers. These are numbers. Where are you getting from? The game is not. And I gotta put it on Game Pass. It's sold. You enjoyed it. You enjoyed it so much. Look at the hours played on it. Hit them with facts.
Those are the facts, people. The game is selling well, and it's not crap. And because Mike Rose said so.
Thank you, Sony. The fanatics at Sony for paying for that game. You support a lot. And we get over support our way. So I appreciate that.
Yeah,
man.
we'll support it that way.
Appreciate that.
Did we lose somebody? Oh no, he's right there. He's still there.
No, he's still. He's
Yeah, you see that?
Low upgrade. That's it. It was post E3, but yeah.
Post E3.
Never too late.
Show off your backgrounds, man. You're flipping over your background.
Oh yeah, here you go. Ready?
You got some backgrounds going.
You got the background.
Yeah, he's already prepped up, man.
Well, I think this is it's not indicative to like the actual because I'm pretty sure this would have still this is our my name.
So you're saying that's from?
I don't know. You see how I just got all blurry? I lost focus now. That's it. There it is. I'm back.
Yeah, you're gone.
No, I'm back. No, I'm back.
Surprised you don't have any pinstripes in the back.
I should have. You know what? Hold on. Go ahead. Continue. No, continue. I can pass. Don't worry about it. Go ahead.
You got him started, man.
Hey, so what are you guys playing on right now?
By the way, Gary hit a home run.
Very good. What are we playing? I was just doing Knockout City. Actually, I was trying to get those rewards. It's like some. I had the punch card for the Gears 5. I told Kills earlier. Funny. This was funny. Literally get the punch card for Gears 5. It's like, download Gears 5 and get the Gears 5 right after it installed. I launched the game. I got a 5 achievement score for it. Just getting skins, unlocking skins or something like that. I immediately closed the game, hit the punch card, uninstalled. So I mean, not to say that I don't want to play Gears, but it's just I wanted the reward.
You wanted to be done with it.
Yeah, I'm grinding the reward. I'm really trying to pay attention. I'm seeing a post from somebody the other day. 75 reward streak or something like that. Somebody after me. That's what I was balling. My brother, all that. Like, you know what? I was kind of pissed about the Battlefield 2042 price. Hey, guess what? I'm going to give a shit. I'm going to earn enough points from now until the time it comes out. And basically, he's going to end up paying like $20 for the game because he's going to just dump all of his reward points into it. And that's not even including all the reward points he's already used to basically put himself on for Game Pass for the next it's unbelievable.
I even tweeted this out, but I've been using my Game Reward for we've been using it for quite some time, and the Game Rewards, the Microsoft Rewards, I've been paying up my Game Pass that way Ultimate. I'm paid up till next year, and now I'm working on just getting points above points because I'm gonna get Battlefield. I'm gonna get the biggest package of Battlefield that there is, but at a lower rate because of the game, the reward points. I even put a list out there this week. It shows, hey, I'm gonna play all of these games for $70. That's my value on Xbox. That is my value on Xbox.
Are you using the automated reward thing?
I'm using I'm doing the weeklies, like every Tuesday the weeklies come out, so I'm doing that. I'm doing the dailies, like the one that's like the Bing ones. You go, search here, search there.
Just logging in,
right? Clicking on something, and then I'm doing the ones that actually the Game Pass, like download a game, play this game, download it from your phone, log into Game Pass every day. So I do things like that. Like literally, I have a routine, Tech. Like I wake up in the morning and I'm on my phone going that one. Okay, scroll. That one. Okay, let me get my 150. Okay, got that. Like that's my routine every day. My wife looks at me. She goes, "You're such a geek." And I'm like, "Hey, I'm saving us money."
So I used to be that guy. To do that. I had a routine every morning at work, and I'll log in, do that, and I do it for 3 accounts. Okay, not just one.
Okay.
There for 3 accounts, and then I discovered rewards. Automatically rewards or something like that on Android, right? So you get tons of points for searching. You see like the 150 points, 100 points for using Edge and all that. Well, you got this app. You sign in as yourself. The rewards page come up. You get a little option to say search all. It just automatically searches everything for you
and gives you the points.
And gives me all the points. I've been doing it over for like 2 or 3 years now.
This is on an Android. This is on an Android phone.
Yeah.
Would the same thing be doable on an Android tablet?
Unfortunately, they took it down off of the Android store.
Okay.
They took it away. Right. You can still download the package. The APK. You can still find it and still do it, sideload it. But I picked up a new phone, the Galaxy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, crap, man. Am I gonna be able to download this thing again or not? And sure enough, it was in my history, and I was able to download it again.
Ooh, nice. I'm sure you'd be able to do it on your tablet, your Android tablet.
That would be my thing, because I have a Galaxy Tab S2 that I would literally load that up, because I already put the Game Pass. I'm looking to utilize that for xCloud. So, because it's a bigger screen as well, too. It's like I think it's like a 10-inch tablet, so I think that would be dope, right?
Well, I mean, things like party games, like Knockout City. Or,
exactly. Like, where I'm not limited to. Also, like, if I'm, like, wherever I might be, if I'm not home at my setup, that I still technically have a way to get on, as long as I have the internet connection, get on and game, So I've been doing with the rewards since I'm on PC as well. I boot up on PC, like whatever I'm doing on the day. I'm doing on stocks and stuff, but like, it's cool because when you hit the Windows or you hit the search bar, your points tallied. Actually, funny enough, I'm at 8,888 points right now. Wow. And because you can see it, and then you could click on it, and then literally right here it says daily set. Like, here, go and do this light speed quiz. 4 answers, 40 points.
Yes, I hate those things.
It just it's like stupid. It's the earnings 150, and then it does the same thing, like more activity. This is separate from what Xbox is letting you do.
Yeah.
This is just right here inside of Windows. So it's like, and I'm trying to take advantage of that as well, too. So I could basically kind of double dip almost, get the Xbox ones done and get the ones that you're getting through Windows, because that's another thing. I've been earning, if I was doing this, I think I told Kills this, if I was doing this before I even got the Xbox, like while I was just gaming on PC, I would have had thousands of points just set up, not even being used right now. I could have had games paid off. Like, I'm like, shit, I couldn't really buy Mass Effect, but if I've been doing this, I probably could have had Mass Effect paid off outright.
No, I think all my Bing rewards will go to Game Pass. Just get
that too,
3
or
months.
just have Game Pass just paid off.
Just get out the way, because eventually Game Pass will go up in price anyway. So
they had a 12-month one at one point, and then they stopped it. So now they only have the 1 and the 3 month.
I wonder why they stopped that 12-month, because that's the way I buy it. I buy it yearly. I don't buy. I mean, now I have to buy 3 months, but with the rewards, it's got me all up until next year. Literally got me. I'm lying. It got me up to September this year, so I got to keep adding to it. But that's how I buy it, and I keep buying the Game Pass Ultimate that way, because I know eventually something's gonna happen with Game Pass. With all these games being put on there, something's gonna have to give.
Yeah.
They're
gonna eventually raise the price sometime at one point.
It's the nature of the business.
I mean, look at Netflix.
You add value to it, and boom, you bring it up.
Look at Netflix.
Oh, look at Netflix. Yeah, they just charged me today, 1950.
Yeah,
today.
Same here. That's me.
Netflix, man. But it's gonna happen. The moment they hit that threshold, whatever the threshold hits with the how many subscribers are on there, that's when they're gonna go. Okay, now that we got this, we hit the goal, whatever that goal is. Now we gonna go ahead and inch it up, like probably $20 or whatever. But no, that's how I do my rewards, man. Now I'm just saving up to get my my Battlefield.
Yeah.
Literally gonna be playing Halo, Battlefield, the Ascent, Gunk, all these games for $20.
You're such a peasant. You're such a peasant for renting. What a jerk.
What's a Blockbuster?
What's a Blockbuster? Yes. What was the Hollywood Video? Did you have Hollywood Video?
Hollywood Video, yes, I had that out here. Yeah.
My dad was a manager at Hollywood Video over here in New York. He actually worked. He worked at both. He worked at Blockbuster and at Hollywood Video.
We still have one here, very small, local. It's called Family Video, and I would go every once in a while. They had a subscription where you pay so much a month and you take so many movies, you know. And I would do it just because my son was taking piano class across the street, so I would just walk in there while he's taking class, pick up a few movies, a couple of games, and go home, you know, because it was right there in front, you know. But they shut down that location where I was at. I'm like, oh, that's sad, you know.
I used to love the whole Wednesday the Wednesday deal. They used to have like a penny and you rent it for a night.
Blockbuster used to give you. They started like the whole. I don't know if it was just with movies or I believe it was with games too, where they let you get like 2 games at a time. Like you would pay like a subscription. They would get like a pass, and then I remembered this because I lived inside the Blockbuster in Connecticut in high school. Yeah, because I wasn't my birthday, Christmas, things like that. I'd get the games that I wanted. I remember asking for Halo 2, waiting for midnight outside of the GameStop. I had school the next day, and I got the Halo 2. I put it in. I saw the opening screen. My aunt said, "Go to bed." And I was in bed, you know, and that was it. I saw the opening screen, but that was fully paid off of, you know what I mean? Like my aunt said, okay, I had that, but all the other games, any other games I wanted to play or whatever, it was rented. It was GameFly or it was Blockbuster. Yeah. And that was it. That was my childhood. It's like that's how I played new games. You know, so
it was called Blockbuster Edge. Game Freedom Pass. Game Freedom Pass. That's what it was called. Just look it up. That's what that was called. A Game Freedom Pass. You would go in there and get 2 games at a time and play that game and bring it back whenever you want.
And if you didn't have a system, you can rent the system in a big-ass suitcase.
Oh, yes. I remember that. You take the whole suitcase home.
Yes.
I mean, we're dating ourselves at this point, but I mean...
Yeah, but I rented a Virtual Boy that way. A Virtual Boy.
A Virtual Boy? Nah, I think...
Virtual Boy.
Mine was, I think it was Nintendo was the big thing.
Okay.
The NES.
NES?
I didn't know about the Game Boy.
No, they had the retro Game Boy. Like, I put it on, played for like a half hour, got really sick from it. That's how I found out I couldn't do that kind of stuff. Got really sick from it because I don't know if you've ever seen what a Virtual Boy looked like in the world. It's like all red lines and stuff. Like, it was terrible. Like, it burned your retina. That's how bad it was, man.
It's like looking into a laser.
Yes. I ended up passing out, but I was like, "You okay?" I'm like, I was seeing flashes and everything. Like, it was bad. It was terrible. Oh man, but yeah, man, that was a Freedom Pass. That's what it was called. It was $20 a month, is what it says here. Yeah, I remember that. There's like one Blockbuster left.
Yeah, yeah. Man, there's a documentary on I think Netflix.
Yeah.
I don't know if you watched it. It's about the last Blockbuster. It's really good. You gotta watch that.
Like a lady that owns it or something.
It's really a guy that owns it. She's just like the manager and just the face of that store.
The one Blockbuster left. That's crazy.
And sure enough, you know, because of the documentary and because it's the last one, I mean, there was a lot of people going to it and, you know, want to see it, want to get that feeling of a Blockbuster like it was back then. So that was.
Who is in the chat? I want to know.
I don't know. So something came up.
Okay.
And I don't like this. Is our boy Jedi Sega. He posted a question. Why do Xbox studios always have to explain why they are exclusive to the brand, whereas Sony never gets the same scrutiny? Which is a good question. And this is brought up because of the whole Bethesda apology about Starfield. Talk.
Pete Hines. There was no need for him to apologize.
No.
Like, I get it. It's a classy move. I get all that. It's a classy move. He's showing empathy. He did reply to somebody I follow where they wrote to him and said, hey, what was the deal? Why did you apologize? And he replied to him saying, hey, it's not a weakness to do this. It's an empathy thing I did. I feel sorry for them because of them not able to experience what we're about to bring out next year. I get that, but I don't understand. Like, why do you go out your way to apologize to a group of like? It's not like they're not. It's not like they're locked out forever into a game.
Yeah.
You can literally pick up a PC, build a PC if you don't already have one. You can play it on your tablet if it's on XCloud, which it's probably going to be.
But you could buy an Xbox. Here's a genie. You could buy an Xbox. You could I'm sorry, crazy idea. It's actually insane. Just buy an Xbox.
I don't. That's a concept that's blowing people's mind though. That logic right there.
Owning both systems. God forbid. I guess at this point, because that's just taboo.
The house will blow up. The both systems can't communicate with each other. They hate each other. Like, those two boxes they go at each other, man. They can't do that. You crazy? You start a war in the house. I don't understand this.
From an empathy perspective, I understand the apology, but it's weird. It's like, and listen, and this might be a little off base too, but it's like John Cena apologizing to China because he acknowledged Taiwan as a country. And it's like, what are we in Mandarin?
Yeah.
It's like,
what are we doing? What are we doing? Will they do that for us?
It's like, I get it because you made $150 million overseas and $100 million of that was in China. So I understand that you have to protect relations, and you were forced, because I don't think that was John Cena saying, "Oh yeah, I can't wait to apologize." You know what I mean?
But you got forced to talk in Mandarin.
Nobody told this guy to come out and be like, "Hey, listen, PlayStation guys, I'm sorry that you're not going to be able to play our game." I mean, it's out of their control. Hey, you know what? I'm sure if Sony was in the position to go and gobble up a company or two, and if they had $7.5 billion,
they did with Insomniac, and who came out and apologized?
Right. Who was running out saying like, "Oh my God, we're never getting Spider." Like, you know what I mean? Like, give me a break. Like, there was no apologies. There was no like, "You're never seeing this XYZ game again." Like, I don't want to hear it.
Almost like he's playing to, I don't know, like this new society where it's all hugs and kisses and we gotta be rainbows and stuff. It's like you gotta hear no every now and again. And again, you're not being stopped from buying an Xbox.
No, you're still a consumer at the end of the day.
You're still a consumer. Yes, you can buy what you want. You're not being stopped and prevented by it. But I hate this notion that we have to apologize.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And I say we, I meant him, but it just still makes me feel like, come on, are you serious right now? Like, if I want to play Ratchet right now, I go get me a goddamn PS5
I want their
Ratchet.
developers to come out and tell us, we're sorry, Xbox people, that you can't play this on Xbox.
I've been following Corey Barlog from Santa Monica, the God of War direct. I've been following him for years on Twitter, and I mean, he's a great guy to follow too on Twitter too. I love his takes, things like that. He's great on Twitter, but I don't remember ever seeing a post from him saying, I'm sorry, Microsoft and Xbox people, that you can't play God of War on your Xbox. I'm sorry that we're only allowed to make this game for Sony. Like, it's never happened. Like, you know what I mean? He makes the game that it's his job. He makes the game. It's for PlayStation. That's it. And then hopefully, if it's big enough and people talk about it enough, then other people want to experience it. Like, that's just what it is. But it's not. I don't know if it's anybody's place to really be out there. Yeah. I mean, I get feeling bad just as a whole, but you're just placating.
The argument always comes back to this, like what they say. Well, Bethesda, they always multi-plat. Well, not now. It's over.
Yeah, now. Insomniac.
That's how it used to be.
Yeah.
Right. That's how it used to be. Yeah.
Yeah. We got Sunset Overdrive and here's the thing. Oh man, that's Hines' way of that's Hines. That's what P. Hines. That's how he is. That's his style. That's how he's real down to earth, mellowed out. That he comes across. It just frustrates me as a gamer to see somebody, a developer, go out. We just talked about Mike. Giving facts out there, and now we're talking about an apology for what? Yeah. What are you really apologizing for? They can pick. Their wallet doesn't stop at PlayStation. If they want an Xbox, they can get an Xbox and play. If they really want to play your game that bad, they will go out and get. It's the same thing I just mentioned there. And if I want to play a God of War when that comes out, because that's my game, I play God of War. If I want to play God of War, I will pick up a PlayStation and play God of War because I want to play it. That's just what an exclusive does. And they've been preaching for so long, what? Exclusive cell system. Guess what? Always. And the explanation they had on top of that was beautiful. Now they can focus in on the game product on one system, and at the same time, the business part of it, they don't have to worry about it.
Because think about it, man. Trying to be a developer and making it for X amount of platforms. You know,
Microsoft
they're now backed by a $2 billion, $2 trillion. Excuse me. I know, because I wanted to say trillion, just the billion was in there.
We're not used to saying trillion.
$2 trillion market cap company. Yeah. It just a big difference, huge difference. So it's like you're right. That pressure now comes off. Like, you know what I mean? They're going to have the financial support and the stability and stuff to do that. But let's just think. You know what? Devil's advocate, alternate reality. What happens if Microsoft fucking buys Bungie and locks them up back before Destiny comes out, and Activision never makes that deal with Bungie? And actually picks them up as a studio? Because Bungie, people don't realize this situation and this story has played over and over, and history repeats itself. It's like big corporation comes in, locks up small developer or what you would consider a small developer. Not that I would say Bungie's small at any point of the imagination. At one point they probably were, but not at the time that they got picked up by Activision to then make a game multi-platform. But make an exclusive deal with Sony and have content come first to Sony. You know how pissed I was as a Destiny fan?
For one year.
I couldn't get exotics. I couldn't get multiplayer maps. I couldn't get strike missions for a fucking year because I didn't know the PlayStation that I got locked out of. I was salty.
When PlayStation came out and apologized.
Yeah.
Who in
Nobody.
Came out and apologized.
Because that's the reason why you bought a PlayStation, because you know how many streamers actually went out and said, you know what, I'd love to play this on Xbox, but I'm going to play, like Twitch streamers literally back then were like, or content creators, I'm going to now go buy a PlayStation because all the content's going there first. Yeah. And I don't want to miss out on the content. It's like, no, I had an Xbox. I wasn't buying a PlayStation. Yeah.
It's a wild concept to have multiple systems in your house. I grew up with Nintendo, Sega, when the Xbox came out, when the PlayStation, I had these systems in my house ready to go, ready to play because there was different games for different systems. It's just wild to me that nobody from the Sonic ever apologized for Spider-Man. Nobody has to apologize. Back then, we just talked about Destiny, and that 1 year DLC content was exotic.
Yeah, where's my apology?
We're talking about weapons
for the whole lifespan of Destiny 1. Right. That was the deal, and it wasn't until they ended up going to Destiny 2 that you didn't get that exclusivity deal anymore. And then finally, when they broke away from Activision, they were untied. They could do. That's why the only reason why you have Destiny 2 right now on Game Pass is because they broke away from Activision. Yeah. Because Activision was the one looking for the money anyway. The reason why you felt like Bungie were scumbags for all those years when it came to Test Eververse and microtransactions and all that stuff is because they had people that they had to answer to when it came to how much money are you generating for us? Because remember, these are the same people that bought Candy Crush. These are the Candy Crush people. These are your Call of Duty. I make hundreds of millions of fucking dollars every goddamn year. Yeah. And I'm sorry, sometimes it's a cut fucking copy and paste. Mm-hmm. You know, with a couple of different things when they finally said, oh, look, jetpacks. Oh, you know what? Oh, look, zombie. You know, because they have shareholders and they have people to answer for. So you know what? I don't want to fucking hear it. I'm over it. I'm honestly, I'm really.
Look who's here in the house, man. We got Emmanuel A1 making the rounds again. He's always
Emmanuel making his rounds.
He's everywhere. But he must have like 20 tabs jumping in every podcast out there.
Just jumping. He has all the bells.
Yeah, all the bells going off and automatically opens up those windows for him.
Oh yeah. One thing about being part of the podcast community that's cool is that you like there's a podcast core.
Yeah, it's always the same people, which is good.
From pod to pod. Yeah. I love that. It's like it's good. I love that kind of
like sometimes if I'm not in the mood to playing and it's late Saturday night, 100. Okay, he has it late nights.
I jump in there. Yeah,
I'll jump in there and he got some characters in his crew, man. In the stream, but then you jump on the chat. It's like it's the same people.
It's the people in the pod. Chat.
It's the same people.
But it's like two different worlds because when you go to 100's late night Saturday streams or pods, he'll have like fanboys in there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I don't know if you see that, and they'll spam Xbox has no games, and it's like, what is this? Like, are you you got the notification button on just to come in and do this.
and his crew that he has on his stream cracks me up, man. It's like watching Friday or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because literally it's a party chat. They bring it up to this. I love his podcast. Like I do my rounds with him all the time, but he does that late night Saturday. That's pretty cool. Like I'll be gaming with the fellas and I'll just pop it into my earbuds while I'm playing with them. And sometimes I'm answering the pod and they going, hey, what? And no, it's the pod. I'm listening to the pod right now.
Like that's what the fuck I'm talking about. Like, what? Kills you, all right?
No, his show cracks me up, man. It's like you need some good late night entertainment, man. Jump on 100s, and you'll get it. And right before you go to bed, man, it's a good watch.
Good watch, yeah. Yeah, that's how I feel about that, man. It's just nobody on that side is apologizing. No. We're apologizing. It's just I don't get it. I just don't get it. And at the same time, I was touching on this note with the Bethesda group. Good for them. Good for them that they are now in a position where they can concentrate on one ecosystem, but not just concentrate on game details and game technology and game like just making the best product possible. But you also have Game Pass that's going to be put on where the revenue part of it, they don't have to worry about that anymore. They don't have to worry about multiple consoles and multiple SKUs. You do one SKU, you put it on that one Game Pass, and it's on PC, it's on tablets, it's on phones. If it has to be on phones,
check it out when a new game is announced, and it's going to be on all platforms. And what do you see at the bottom? Being released: Xbox One, PS4, PS4 Pro, Nintendo Switch, Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S, PS5, and PS5. It's like, dude,
people don't realize how many SKUs that is that they got to work on. That's a lot of SKUs, you know. And then the game let the game come out with a couple of bugs.
That holds up the other platform
to the point, they bring in other developers just to come in and work on different ports of the game. Because that's another thing too, where you won't even have the same developer work, and that's unfortunate too. Because if you're on one of those other platforms, like a lot of the times Nintendo, they're getting another developer coming in. Like you remember,
look at Apex Legends,
Activision for Call of Duty, Apex
Legends.
You know what I mean? It's like you have other developers coming in basically so they could work on the port or their version of the game. I mean, it's what it is. It's a port because it wasn't designed for the console in the first place. It's just they're trying to placate. And there's a need for this game to be on other devices, and they want to put it out there. But there's only so many people. They can only hire so many people. So it's like, but wait, if they're a big enough company and EA is running Respawn, so they're like, oh no, we'll just pull this team. Here you go. You're no longer doing that, or some of you can go do whatever you're doing, and then you do.
Activision's doing that right now.
They're great for that. They love it. They're like,
here,
oh wait, Raven, your Warzone, but here, go help out here.
That COD used to be the whole, this is this year, this team is that year. That shit went out the window. Now it's like all hands on deck.
Sledgehammer was supposed to be this Call of Duty, and I'm like, Treyarch's not making a Black Ops game. It's Sledgehammer. That's weird. No, bye Sledgehammer.
Oh, is it?
And then it's like that. It's like Sledgehammer was supposed to make Black Ops, the Cold War.
Oh,
Sledgehammer was actually making Cold War, and then Activision said no, bye, and then said, okay, Treyarch, go ahead, go make your game. It's your fucking franchise, which I don't know why they weren't doing it in the first place. But I think people got but see, this is my problem with Call of Duty as a whole, as just a franchise as a whole, because at this point, Activision no longer gives a shit about it. They care. How much money can it generate for us?
Oh yeah.
How many skins can I sell? How many CP points can I fucking sell?
What did they have?
How do I monetize?
Did they have battle passes or something?
Product you put out there, yes, yeah, exactly. I don't care what product you put out there. Here's a battle pass. You're gonna pay for that battle pass. That's the model now. They can put a shit product out there now. It's gonna have a battle pass.
Yeah,
Look,
man.
We're in June right now, and there has not been a leak on Call of Duty. That tells me nobody gives a shit about Call of Duty anymore. Because by May of this year or April of this year, that would have been leaked to the fullest. Man, I don't know if you guys remember.
We're supposed to have a trailer. We're supposed to have a trailer already during the NBA playoffs. It's almost tradition. We get the trailer during the NBA playoffs.
And usually their trailers are awesome. Call of Duty, I mean, they got some, high-end people, got celebrities. They make it funny or they make it action-packed. And it always turns out to be a great trailer. But I guess I haven't seen much TV, and I don't see any trailers anymore.
Oh, Zach,
the only trailers that you see now is for Warzone. That's the only thing that they want
Warzone.
to perpetuate and push is Warzone. It's the only thing you're going to see trailers for, where you're getting all those, like you said, social media, TikTok people, and owners of Call of Duty organizations like Nate Shot. They had Nate Shot in the last one that they actually filmed and stuff. Yeah. They had him up there, which was cool because he's been in Call of Duty he's one of the reasons why Call of Duty is as big as it is. You know what I mean? So that was cool, but they shunned him out too because he didn't want to throw in $25 million when they started the competitive league, and he went and especially when they wanted to do all the teams and stuff, like, because as a brand he didn't want to be located and locked to just one city, and the league and Activision was forcing him to be like, no, you buy a team, you buy your spot, you got to be here in this city, and it wasn't working out. And then $300 million that they charged for the fucking league. Yet once again, I go back to this, and I'm going to sound like a broken record, but you fire people during the fucking pandemic. Like, you literally fire people that were actually working on you make money, you make billions. You can't take a little bit of your profit and keep those fucking people going until you open back up. Because what are you doing now that you're opening LAN back up again, and states are going to start having LAN events and stuff? What are you going to do? You're just going to hire new people? What happened to the people that you let go and you fired? I just, it bothers me. It bothers me when companies do scummy shit like that, man.
I be coded. He's got to have that jet. Got to fly. Gotta have the cat.
He got his fucking bonus though. You
better believe that. But that's what I'm saying. He got a third jet. You want to sound like a broken record? I sound like a broken record. Bobby Kotick got his third jet with that bonus he fucking got. Nobody deserves a bonus that big. Nobody. What do you do for that bonus? What can you possibly work for so hard that gets you that bonus? Like what value was placed on what you did that got you that big of a bonus?
Yeah.
Because the workers you fired are the ones that put you in that position.
Exactly.
But you fired them and you get the millions. Huh? Okay. Well, it's going to turn into a financial show. Sorry.
It's okay, man. It's okay. Because we're
going to sound like fucking CNBC and shit. Like,
we're gonna have to follow the people that try to go, what the fuck did I just turn into? Okay, we get it.
No, with the whole Bethesda apology thing, I think it should have just stopped when they plastered Starfield and it said Xbox exclusive. That is it.
That's it.
It should have stopped right there. Nobody needed to come out afterwards and do some after show or do some interview or do anything and say, hey, you know what? We're sorry. We're sorry from the bottom of our hearts that you don't get to play on your PlayStation. No. Starfield, exclusive Xbox, you're done. That is it.
You saw the fake article? You saw the fake article with Todd Howard? You saw that one?
Yeah.
Sorry to cut in, but you saw that one, Todd Howard. They tried to say that Todd Howard came out and said, fuck you, PlayStation.
Oh, but that was like a parody site, though.
No, like parody site, but people were running with it because it's the internet, and then using that as like a way. And I'm like saying to myself, and there was another tweet. I'm like, if you took this for truth, and if you thought that somebody, the head of a major studio, would come out and say something like that,
he's like,
I literally, I said, if you really think that Todd would come out and say, and I'm not a big fan of Todd. I'm not like, oh yay Todd, but if you think he would come out and say that, like, maybe you don't deserve to play Bethesda games. Like maybe you can't. Maybe it's too complex.
At this point, take a pause on the gaming. Go outside, take a walk.
Go experience life at this point, because what the fuck are you even talking about?
I just think it's crazy that they flashed a date on that game and then finished it with saying Xbox exclusive, and then Sarah Bond came out and said Xbox exclusive, and you are running with the I'm sorry narrative. Why are you running with that narrative? So funny.
Because now it looks like I wish we weren't bought by Microsoft.
Right.
But at the same time, I'm happy that we are.
Right.
I wonder if Phil
I'm happy for our overlords. But I'm sorry that we have overlords now.
I want to know, like, I really want to be a fly on the wall and see what kind of phone call he received from Phil after that. Like, dude, what the fuck was that? Why did you apologize? Because the guy who interviewed him from IGN put him in the spot. Like, he set him up on that question hardcore.
That's IGN.
Like, if you watch the interview, it was like he just set him up for that.
These people get media training. These people have PR people that they literally have on speed dial. If you think for 2 fucking seconds after that interview concluded and got posted that his phone didn't ring, or that he wasn't in a team in a meeting right now, and I want to know the faces that were on that fucking screen. Show me the different faces that popped up calling it. Todd's joining the call. Phil's joining the call. Your head of fucking VP, your head of marketing, or your head of
it was a loaded question. It was like they set them up and they loaded the question. Like, why would you even? And I don't see this happening with any Sony people sitting down and talking when they talk to Sony at all. They don't sit down and ask these questions.
No. It's more of a congratulations, rah. Hey, congratulations for getting Insomniac. You know, this is a good buy.
Right now, there's a game out there on PlayStation 5 dangling a game that was on Xbox. What game is that? Sunset Overdrive. Dangling it inside of a game, inside of an IP. Sunset Overdrive. But yeah, here we are going, nobody's apologizing for that. They're throwing it in people's faces. Hey, look, we got Sunset Overdrive on our side.
More of us will be like, hey, now you're going to see what we're talking about, how good and fun this game is.
Yeah. All of a sudden, now the narrative changed. You slap that logo.
You slap that logo, and it's automatically 95.
It's a Metacritic score of 99%, whatever the heck that is, and 5 stars.
It could be a big old turd. It's 99.
It's gonna be 99. You're gonna break the Metacritic. Brand new Metacritic, 120. Get that.
I mean, I'm interested when Medium comes out because, I'm not big on scores. I don't care about scores at all.
Yeah.
But seeing people losing is kind of entertaining sometimes.
Yeah.
But say when Medium comes out, it gets its Metacritic score for the PlayStation 5, and it's higher than Xbox. Come on now. Now that's blatant bias right there.
At that point, if I see media come out and start praising this game like they didn't do an Xbox version of it,
it runs so well on the PS5.
No, and DF come out, Digital Foundry come out and start stroking them. Oh, I'm gonna
crack up a lot.
Twitter that day is gonna be get off my timeline.
I'm gonna laugh when they do the split world moment and it crashes their system.
It's gonna give them the whole sleep mode.
Go to sleep. This is too much. Split. I don't do split worlds. I can't do that. I can't do that. I'm about to go. I'm going to sleep.
You want me to what? No, I can end the level and then come back to level as the other side of it. I can't do both
at the same time. No, we can't do that.
No, what are you talking about? Am I an Xbox? I can't do that. They're just gonna fall asleep and crash. No. I feel sorry, man. It's just, look, man. At the end of the day, we all know what it is. It's media bias. They play up the whole fanboy thing, and then you have your toxic fanboy accounts out there. We all know who they are that play up this shit, and they play up to the fullest of Xbox has no games. Which, by the way, this Xbox E3 showing killed that narrative completely. We spoke about that on our show on Sunday. Killed that narrative completely with Xbox has no games. I mean, what are we getting? 3 exclusives this year that has been announced so far, which is the Flight Simulator, the Halo, and then you have, what was the other one? Flight Simulator, Halo, and Forza. You're getting 3 exclusives right off the bat, all quality games right there. And then you're getting third-party exclusive through Game Pass. 30 games announced, 27 coming to Game Pass.
Yep.
How much more do you want? I'm sitting here going, I can't catch up to the
it's a huge backlog, man. I can't keep up.
And you get through more. I mean, I'm complaining I have too many games. Well, y'all out there, somebody lied to me. I bought an Xbox Series X thinking it had no games, and I can catch up with my
too many games.
Somebody lied to me. I need to.
I wasn't going to be in a position to play Hades. That wasn't a game that I'd ever look. Me personally, I'm not too big into the roguelikes necessarily. Although I saw a lot of people playing it, and I said that would be cool to try one day. But I wasn't going to buy it. I wasn't, because that's still just not in my realm. But it's on Game Pass.
Day one, right?
Day one. Downloaded it because I'm gonna try it day one. Why not? And then even the fact too, it's it's preloaded on my freaking external, just to make sure that I have the space, and then I'll just move it right over when it's ready. And it's I wouldn't have been in a position to play that game or had my eyes even open to that game if it wasn't for Game Pass at this point. So it's so that whole narrative, huh?
That's the beauty of Game Pass.
Right, exactly. It's I don't play that game because I tell you this much, me as a consumer, I'm not buying that game. But you're going to tell me that I don't have to pay anything extra for it and I can play it? Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm definitely going to try that out.
It's Hades is a game that I played it on my Switch. Enjoyed the crap out of it. It's coming over to Xbox. Oh my God. I'm going to play some more. But again, these are games like you said. There's gamers out there who it's not a bad game, but they won't play it because it's not their forte. It's not their style of gameplay. Yep. But now that it's on Game Pass, guess what? I ain't losing nothing for it. Let me download and play it. And then I know there's been a feature for a little bit, but now they blew it out. You can really pre-install your games now on Game Pass. Pre-install, and it gives you a date on when it's coming out. Like, I'm like,
yeah. I saw that.
Now I got future backlog. What is this about? like, what are you doing on me, game Xbox? Like, what are you doing to me? I'm telling you, I want to find the person who started this whole Xbox has no game narrative, and I'm gonna choke him because I bought the Xbox thinking, I can play my games and enjoy them, and wait for another game to come out, and wait for another. No, I'm not doing that. I can't even catch up. Like, literally, I get off of work and I'm going tech. I ask these guys. I power on my Xbox, right? I power on my Xbox and I look at my list and I'm going, and they're like, "What are you playing on? What are you playing on, Sensei?" And they hear this.
Yeah.
Let's play some Knockout City.
So
I can't decide.
I'm gonna go a little nerd out here. How do I'm gonna ask you guys first? How do you guys keep up with which games you're planning to get? Like a wish list or so. How do you keep that up?
You can go first, like you want.
I like the feature that Xbox has. Xbox literally has the feature.
What, that play later?
Or the play, is that what it is? It's play later. I just did it the other day because I think I did it with like Battlefield.
Yeah.
Because it's one of the, the games that I know, like, obviously, like, I'm always tuned in. I'm always looking at research and stuff and everything. So I'm always kind of tuned into like what games are coming out. But sometimes there are games that I don't even know are coming out that might interest me. So it's like browsing around. But like things like that where it's like, because I won't normally bookmark things and stuff, but the fact that the Xbox gives you that idea to be like, hey, play later, or like that you could put something off to the side, like wish. Same thing like on Amazon. It's like if I see something on Amazon that I really like, but it's like I'm not going to buy it at that moment, I just add it to like the wish list, and it's like, I buy it later on. So that's basically what I've been doing with the games. But I'm also I'm still kind of picky. Like I'll play anything, but then again, it's like I'm very picky when it comes to like games that I play, or the first person shooters. Some like RTS on the computer and stuff like that. But I'm almost like a one trick pony over here. It's first person shooters, a couple of sports games, and like the party games with the friends and stuff, and whatever, and that's about it. So
with me, I depending on the game, I buy it.
Yeah.
Like MLB The Show, I love that game. I've always played that game on PlayStation. Yeah. So I bought it.
That goes back to our topic. Hey, if I want to play MLB, I got a PlayStation.
I got to play it. There you go. Yeah. Like I could get a PlayStation. They saved me money this year because it's on Game Pass, but I still bought it anyways because it came to Xbox, right? So I ended up buying it anyway because I would have bought it regardless. And I can't be that guy that if it leaves Game Pass, I don't have it now. Like I already have it. At least Game Pass still have it. Games like that.
I'm the guy who canceled the order.
You're the guy that canceled the order. You don't support the devs.
I don't support the devs. I had the Jackie Robinson, the Steelbook order.
That's what I bought.
And as much as I wanted it, I'm like, oh, well, sorry.
He said, whatever. But if you like it enough, you probably end up getting it if it leaves Game Pass, or when it leaves Game Pass. You probably end up getting it because if you like the game enough, you don't want to miss out on it.
Yeah.
Right. But like that game, Battlefield, I'll buy. Like those are games I would buy. Now, when it comes to Game Pass, the games I like I rotate in Game Pass. You know how they always have that leaving soon kind of a tab? Yeah. I always look at that tab and see what games are up there that I can play before it leaves. And I make that a priority to play. And I'll play that. I've noticed that I've been doing that a lot lately. And with Game Pass, I'm playing a lot of indie games as well. So that's how I rotate my games out. But as far as purchasing, it'll have to be, because of Game Pass now, it has in the $70 price tag, it has to be a game that's going to give me hours upon hours.
Oh, yeah.
And I keep repeating that. You have to give me hours upon hours of gameplay for you to get even $60 out of me.
Yeah.
With Game Pass now, you got to give me that.
So for me, I'm a nerd out here, just because I'm in IT, and I like to keep myself organized. And even though we have, like Logic says, we got the wish list there, and we have the play later option, this is what I do. I put everything in an Excel sheet.
He's going to show me an Excel? Yep. Excel spreadsheet.
So here's all my...
You're a sick fuck, you know that? It's because you're an Astros fan. That's exactly why.
So here's all the ones that have actual dates.
That's what Astros fans do. They do these little spreadsheets and they find out when
analytics, man. Analytics.
And what noise you got to make for the pitch. That's what they
so here's a section that has all the ones that have a date already that I want. Mm-hmm. And there's some, like every show that comes out, I'll jot down the games I'm interested in. But some may not even come out for years. So like, here's a whole bunch. You know?
You know what? You know why I could relate to this? Because when I worked at GameStop, or even when I was a fan of GameStop, yo, where's your pre-order list? Yo, print that for me. Circle, circle, circle. Especially when I worked there, it's like, yo, we're down on reserves today, man. Yo, it's like, all right, I got a couple of games I got to reserve. Don't worry about it. It's like, you sure? It's like, yeah, all right, where we end up with? Oh, we only had 10 today. All right, yo, let me reserve that. All right, go ahead, send the numbers.
Yeah. So this
fucking, you know what I mean? So it's like,
so this is my wish list.
It really looks like a pre-order. Yeah, it does look like a GameStop like list. It does.
Like everything's supposed to come out in 2021 supposedly, and in 2022, and then everything's determined. Nobody knows what the dates are. That's how
nobody knows. TBD.
To be determined, man.
We have future backlog.
Yes,
that's what we have.
This section right here used to be like this. Once E3 came out, it was all this.
Boom. That's it. We were doing a show on Sunday, and we was like going into E3, me and Logic and Money at the time. For Sunday, we were like, we're gonna do a list. We're gonna write every game that comes out. Yeah. They talk about. We're gonna make a list out of it. I'm like, yeah, I got my notepad. I'll do that. I grabbed my phone. I get my notepad out. I stopped at 7 games. Like, they kept going, and I'm like, stop.
I didn't start. I saw Starfield, and I said, you know what? I'm just mental note. It's just, okay, Starfield first. We'll see what happens, and then hopefully the fucking playback's up right away. So when we're actually doing the podcast, I'll just go through, because that's what we did.
That was
it was up. The 4K version was up, and then we were going, oh, hey, look, here's Starfield here, and then we just went game by game, because that's what you got. You got 30 games just slammed in your face for an hour and a half.
Oh, they slammed it in your face. Like, I got to game number 7. I said, stop it. Stop. I'm okay. Stop. Let me think. Let me look at this game first. Like, It was like, and in my head, I kept playing exclusive. Game Pass.
He kept saying that. I'm like, no, they didn't do that. They just had the splash. They didn't, because they didn't even, if they didn't have to talk, they weren't talking. That wasn't.
Out. They even cut that out. Like, no, we didn't
say no talking today. No flute guy. No flute guy.
But listen,
usually when they bring out a new Forza game, they bring out like a real car on the stage.
Yeah, they didn't do that. They went straight to the point, man. They didn't even do that. Like,
well, that's why it's like. Go ahead, Kills.
No, I was gonna say that's why I love that Xbox this year literally listened to the community. They listened to us because we kept saying we want gameplay. We want games. Forget about the notion of here's a CG and here's that and here's. Give us games. Yeah. And for a good, 30 minutes? It was just games. And then Forza came out. It was like, okay, wow, that's a lot of games they talked about before even Forza came out. And even then, those developers talking about the passion of making that project. It wasn't about tech talk. It wasn't a TED talk. It wasn't a talking points. It was photorealistic. It's coming out this year. Look at this, Mexico. That's what it was. I think the only point they wanted to hit was a mural. That, how that mural was real and it's a real artist behind it. But everything else was just boom, one after another. Just kept going and flowing. And everybody was on this. Sarah Bond, Hines, Todd Howard opened the show up, and you ended it with Phil. And when Phil came out, it was the whole, but wait, there's more. Yeah. I have one more.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man.
We were talking about this earlier before you got on, since we don't need to pump up Game Pass because we know what's it about. We know what value it brings up. It brings to the table. We know the costs, the low cost for hundreds of games, whether it's third party or first party. We know all this, so we don't need to kind of go over it again because we've heard it all, and we have our own experience with the service itself. But now I think you were part of the Twitter feed today that was just blowing up my phone today. I think you think Logic too, about purchasing the game and renting it, It's still a thing.
Yeah, it's still a thing. Yeah, people still. What is it though with the renting of the games? Did we forget we used to go to GameStop and turn in our game for $1? Like trade it in for $1. Did we forget that we used to go to Redbox and rent games?
This is what I mentioned like a few weeks back before even this blew up today. It's like Game Pass is at where it's at right now. It's matured a lot, and somehow it's held like it's a bad thing. People may wants to twist it into.
People try to bastardize it as if like the rest of the media. It's just like I said in my tweet, as if like every other company, every other media conglomerate doesn't do the exact same thing. It wasn't like Game Pass was just thought of out of thin air. There have been subscription services that have come before Game Pass that allow you to rent games. But name me the subscription service for video games that has given you the value and the amount of games that you have access to just with an internet connection and $15 a month. Like literally,
I just don't
Xbox, $15 a month and a solid internet connection, and you have access to over 100 games, premium game, not indie fucking, like, I mean, you get your indies too,
you get
triple A titles. What's the
I
discussion?
don't know. I think
the stigma comes from.
Go ahead.
Sorry. No, I was saying I think the stigma come from when Game Pass, because even I'm guilty of this. When Game Pass first was introduced and it came out, there was not even enough games on there for me to go, I'm gonna get that. I ended up getting it because I want to try it out, and like it was like just like it was a PS Now. I tried it for a couple of months, or even I don't think it was a couple of months. It was like 1.5 months. I canceled it, said I don't want any part of that because there's nothing on there I want. I buy my games anyways, right? So I had that notion in my head. But as they started building on the X Cloud, and they started building on more games coming in, and they started dropping more titles, and now they announced first day and date on the exclusives when those come out. Once they started doing
what was
that,
the first one? Was it Sea of Thieves?
For Game Pass? It was Sea of Thieves.
That was the first one.
And then like, you got your Gears, your Halo that started coming out.
Sea of Thieves is what locked me in.
Yeah, Sea of Thieves. Yeah, it's like a lot of people. They got me back to get to Game Pass. It got me back into Game Pass, and I'm starting to see the value now. I'm starting to see what they're talking about. Their vision is not short-sighted. Their vision is future. I started seeing this as the more they kept talking about it, I bought into it. I go, this makes sense. We're at where we're at now. Unfortunately, there are those who left at that point, never came back to it, who turned toxic, and just now they want they never came back to it, so they still have that thing in their head where it's like Game Pass is mid pass. It doesn't have this. It's rental. They have really not explored what's in there.
It's I guess what gets me is those people that keep fighting this fight about, I like to own them. I like to have them in my hands. I own this. I can do whatever I want with them.
I want physical media.
Whereas
those same people, go ahead, Tech, finish your thought.
Whereas they attack the ones that have Game Pass and say, oh, you're either cheap, you're not supporting developers, or there's something just outrageous they want to come up with just to devalue what Game Pass is. And just because they love the feeling, that warm, fuzzy feeling of owning a physical game or actually owning the game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I can understand that from a collector standpoint. Like, you see those people that, like, their houses, or the post that I saw, like, right before E3 where the guy shows every, like, console system, like, ever made.
Yeah.
Like,
no, it's awesome. Yes.
Like, the physical media. Like, people don't realize PS2, like, there was over 4,000 games made between US and Japan for, like, the PlayStation 2. And all of them, which you can't fucking play on your current PS5 or 4 or 3 because they fucked you on immolation, and they basically said, no, you better just hold on to your PS2 back from 2002. So my whole thing is that I hate dealing with ultimatums, but if you're going to make the argument that for whatever reason you feel like you're renting a game when it comes to Game Pass, then you need to cancel your Hulu subscription.
Your Spotify.
You need to cancel Netflix.
Oh,
you need to cancel Spotify, your Apple
HBO
Music.
Max,
you need to cancel HBO Max.
And buy those movies.
And then find a way to consume that content and buy those movies. You go and you buy those movies.
These are the
you buy that TV show, you buy that DVD series, you go do it. You wait until it's complete. You wait until that series is complete, and then you wait until they make it on physical media. And then you go and you buy it.
These are the same people that say people buy Xbox to watch Netflix. Excuse me, while I turn off my Xbox, turn on the TV to go on an app that's already on my Xbox. What the fuck? Like, what?
we as consumers have been conditioned now, and it's been happening since Netflix, even when Netflix was sending you DVDs. But you've been conditioned now as a consumer to subscribe to these services because you're cord cutters. You don't believe in cable anymore. You could get Hulu Live because you have a good internet connection, and who cares if the delay is fucking 10 seconds. You're going to get your local news wherever you're from. If YouTube TV, you're going to get your local news, so you're going to be able to catch up and all that stuff. You're going to get your TBS, your TNT, you're going to get all of that stuff, and you're only going to pay $50, $60. But then it's like, but what, you need your premium channels. Great. So you know what? Go subscribe to HBO Max. Go subscribe to Showtime. Go subscribe to Star. You could do it all individually. And then maybe you don't watch all those shows. Maybe you only want to watch Stars when Power's out. Great. Go subscribe to Stars when Power's out. And the second Power goes away, unsubscribe. Because you could do that. You have that freedom to actually do that.
That's the part that boggles me when these people say they don't rent games, they buy physical media. I have to call bullshit on it. I have to. There's no way you're telling me you buy physical, that you have to own your stuff. And you're telling me you don't have this. You don't have.
When was the last time you bought a fucking album? When was the last time you bought a fucking? You don't listen to music.
CD?
When was the last time you bought a fucking CD?
I was gonna say cassette, but
you were in Tower Records, or you went to fucking you went to the Wiz, where Virgin Megastore in the city. I'm from New York. You went to Virgin Megastore. Yeah. Were you outside when Mike was outside? Were you there when were you there waiting for the fucking autograph?
Sam Goody?
I remember being a kid and we're walking through Times Square. And my dad's like, "Oh yeah, let's go hang out." Sam Goody, and you go inside of the store and you get the headphones on, you hit the button and you listen in, and then it's like, "Oh, that album's cool." I remember getting the Linkin Park Meteora album on a disc. Yes. I remember all that. I was a fucking kid. Nobody does that anymore. Yeah. Apple Music, Spotify, Pandora, YouTube, you name it. That's all it's being used. That's how you
and that's what I was saying. I was trying to say earlier, you have all these music and movie subscriptions, even news. It's okay. It's okay to consume it that way for those things. But games, oh no. You have to buy it. You have to buy them.
You're not supporting your developers. They don't make enough.
Yeah.
Argument, they don't do enough. They get a raw end of the deal.
Here's the goalpost being moved when you push them on. Well, why physical? Well, I want to own it. So, or they'll say, oh, because if it's your own digital, the moment they pull the plug, you can't play that game no more because you have internet connection. If you're buying a console today, or you PC game, or you have a PC at home today, did you buy that with the notion you're not going to use the internet on it? Ever?
What have PC gamers been doing for the last couple of years? Poll your PC gamers. I'm fucking one of them. Ask how many of them have a CD drive in their computer. Give me that fucking number. Yeah. I want the number of how many CD drives they have, how many CD drives are out there in the world. Because you know what? Steam, guess what? Steam, Origin, Epic Store, that piece of shit store that is. Sorry, it's only a store because of Fortnite. It's the only reason why they have a store.
That's the only reason it's a store.
But see, all battle.net, all of that stuff. Mm-hmm. Nobody buys physical media when it comes to PC gaming. Every PC gamer, and that's why they look at, and you know why? That's why I can't get mad, even though I'm both. I console and I'm PC gamer, but I can't be mad when somebody who exclusively games on PC looks down at everybody else and says, "You guys are fucking idiots."
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, I can't be mad because I understand why you would think that, because this is what people want to fight about. This is the conversations we're actually having at this point, where people are just fucking salty that there's a subscription service that is giving so much value to so many people and providing such a great experience. If it was that bad, hey, guess what? You know how they say, like, call your congressman if you want things to change. Call fucking Sony, tweet them. Okay, you fucking tweet them, tweet all your people, and you tell them, hey, PlayStation Now, great idea. Why don't you fucking add all your first-party games to it?
Yeah.
Jack up the price $20 because it's $60 a month. Right? It's $60 for the year. Jack it up $20. Add all first-party games and sign me the fuck up. I'd sign up.
On my PS4 if I can get my PS4 game.
This is what I'm saying. They literally have the means to do this. They haven't. So your beef isn't with us. It's with the fucking people that you already have. It's the same conversation I had with Big V. It's like sometimes you got to stop. I understand that you have all this built up and pepped up fucking anger and stuff, but sometimes you got to find another way to direct it.
That's just New York people. They're always pumped up and.
Yeah, but that's not New York people that I fucking see on
the timeline. Exactly right there. That's what I'm talking
about.
Fuck that. Those people, if they're New York people, they're not. They're giving us a bad fucking name. Because literally, if that was me, if I'm a Sony owner, I'd be just like fucking Big B. Where the fuck is my expandable memory?
See, but that's
why the fuck do I have a Why the fuck do I have a CMOS fucking battery issue that could kill my system 15 to 20 years from now?
Yeah.
And that, God forbid, if you cut this fucking system off, it won't work anymore. I don't want to hear it.
That's my problem with that community. It's like, demand better, man. That you literally have no expandability access drive in your damn console. You don't have this.
You're over 9 months in. You're over 9 months into the console being out.
You're okay
not
with
fucking
it.
Did you?
Your community's okay, and you know why PlayStation keeps digging them like this? They keep doing it because the community keeps eating it up. They don't give a shit. Give me exclusives and give me whatever piece of shit system you put out there. How you bring out a next gen system with no expandability? You bring out a system that you blow on a controller, a grown ass man blowing on a controller. You bring out a system that goes to sleep and goes into a nightmare because it doesn't want to wake up again. Like literally goes into Nightmare of Elm Street, doesn't want to come out of that. Like, what is this? This is what we say next gen system. Get that shit out of my conversation with next gen. That don't belong there.
Did you see this post I posted here?
Let me see. Yes.
I didn't realize this was gonna blow up. Okay, because I'm getting notification after notification throughout since it was posted, right?
Yeah.
And people are trying to explain to me, if you listen to Mark Cerny's pretty much TED Talk, you'll understand that the speed of the SSD is so super fast and so advanced that no off-the-shelf expansion card or whatever memory card is able to keep up with it. And I'm like, dude, are you serious? Talking to me like
they ate that. You drank that. They drank that fucking Kool-Aid. You understand that was Kool-Aid provided to them, and they fucking drank it, and then they asked for more, and then they said, "Can I have some more, please?" Yeah. And then they fucking asked for more, and then they said, "Oh,
you guys don't think it's weird that Mark talks like this? And oh my god, in the console, and it's just gonna have the best SSD magic. And you don't think it's weird that he sounds like someone who's like, I know he's a genius. Suppose he's a genius. I get it. And geniuses have this kind of character, this personality, where they talk soft and they just soft spoken, and that's how they are. I get that, but it's just weird that this man talks bullshit and they eat it up. Like you are sitting there making excuses for a $500 system that's incomplete. God, demand more, guys. That guy we keep talking about, Big V, we met him over Twitter. Logic went on his podcast a few weeks ago, and we met through Twitter with literally an argument, not an argument. It was a discussion. It was like a back and forth.
He didn't like something that Kills said in a tweet, basically taking a jab over at Sony guys and stuff like that, as Kills normally does. Right. And I felt like, and before he even got to it, as he was typing his response, I already fucking shot mine out there, and I was just like, like that was me. I was out there, and I was like, yo, what's going on? What are you doing? Oh no, it just, you really don't like Sony. I'm like, yo, up until a couple of years ago, my guy was Sony. My guy started, like, if you really want to go back before, like the 360 time, my guy was on Sony. He was a SOCOM. This guy is fucking King SOCOM over here. I don't want to fucking hear it. I couldn't go a week without hearing about, yo, SOCOM was such a fucking great game, man. Like, honestly, like, I could go back in the time that I've known over 10 years now and go back and be like, fuck, yo, remember that? Yo, Reckless, remember that fucking game on SOCOM? Man, yo, oh my god, yo, what a game! And I'm saying to myself, and I'm like, and we're fucking like 7 years removed at this point. It's like, yo, SOCOM was so fucking good, man. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, we're like 4 generations removed. I'm like, okay, I get it. SOCOM was great. I wish there was a fucking another one. That honestly, at this point, because that's so good.
He went on this guy's show. He went on his podcast, and literally they discussed the different thing. And his name is Big V, great guy. He went on He went and started on his podcast. Said, you know what, you got it. I see where you guys are coming from. It has nothing to do with you hate PlayStation. You just want better. You want more. Yeah. And now I see that. And since then, he's been advocating for PlayStation to be better. He's a PlayStation guy, but he wants better from it. He's asking for expandability. He's asking for where these games. He's talking about 25 games where they're at. Like, there's a reason why they didn't show up to E3, guys. There's a reason why they didn't show. It ain't because they got a show coming up that's going to show you 8,000 games. They have nothing yet. They really came out and did a whole 15, 20-minute show on Horizon to show you something that's probably been a demo for months now. And they said we gotta get them something. Here, show this. That's all that was. You're talking about a community that gets excited for a logo on God of War, but gets mad when they show a CG trailer of a game on the Xbox side.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That cannot be. That's Starfield. That cannot be real. That is fake. And in the very bottom, you see in-game footage, in-game engine.
Yeah.
What more do you want?
What more do you want? I guess one response to that was to one guy was like, what did I say? You guys went nuts over a God of War logo when that was revealed, and somehow you have this 2 or 3 minute teaser about Starfield, and it's trash. That's what they're saying. I'm like, what? You went nuts over a logo, but this is trash?
You went over what was the logo with the symbols on it. That's what it was.
Yeah, that's all it was.
And when you hear boy, oh, the crowd went crazy. Ah! What are you going crazy for, boy? Like, there's nothing on there. I'm a God of War fan.
Yeah.
I am a God of War fan.
Yeah.
I there was nothing in that trailer, that logo, that got me, okay, it's coming. We know it's coming. It made millions of dollars.
We knew it was coming from the post when you beat the game and you saw the end and you went, like, you knew it was coming. You knew that it was going to happen.
Yeah, we know it's coming. This is a logo to it. You got hype, but Starfield that shows you actual game and a date drop date for it.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, and a date. Yeah, exactly.
And a date. I guess they got. I don't know
whether they hold true to that date or not. We'll see.
It may be delayed.
You know, that's the only thing about it because you understand, like, the scope and the grasp of that game, especially something that they're looking to do, like where we're talking about a Fallout or Elder Scrolls-esque game in space. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I don't expect it to come out in that day. I really don't. I don't. But I hope it does. But honestly, if it needs some more time, take as much time as you need. I mean, honestly, I just wish they wouldn't put a date if it's not ready. I'm hoping it's ready because.
But they put a date. If they put a date saying, "Yo, we're ready to go in a year,"
that's what Bethesda's about. Bethesda is known, and this weird. You know what's weird? I think it's the first time Bethesda shows a day and date.
Yeah.
Of a drop game that's this many, like a whole year out, more than a year.
I remember when they announced Fallout 4, and it was about 5 months before they actually had to launch it, and it launched.
Correct.
And I keep going back to that because that's the way games should be announced. Is like, here's our game. Oh, by the way, here's a date with it too, which is months in advance. I'm like, oh my God, it's coming out soon. Perfect. Yeah. Not like this, 24-month kind of thing. I'm like, come on now. Now we got to wait.
Where you see a trailer and you got to wait 3 years. Yeah, you see a trailer and it's like, hey, look at this thing that we're working on. Or even when we got the Elder Scrolls 6 tease. Yeah. It's like we could assume, one could assume it's like you're more than likely you're working on Elder Scrolls. So then you give us something, which is cool and all. But we're not seeing that game more than likely for another 2 more. It's the same team. We're not getting 2-3 years for Elder Scrolls 6. But hey, if Starfield could fucking keep me entertained, I don't give a shit. Like, you know what I mean? It's like if you're giving me that type of game ish, but like in space now, and sign me the fuck up. Like
here's a post that the guy responded to my SSD thing. That's what happens when you have the fastest SSD on the market and other companies can't keep up.
That's not true. There's literally PCI 4 drives right now that are running inside of like AMD motherboards, right? X570 motherboards, B550 motherboards with PCIe Gen 4 support that have faster read and write fucking speeds than the SSDs that are inside the Xbox and the fucking PlayStation, and that's been out for over a year and a half now. I don't want to. I can't.
The fact of the matter is that this SSD has done nothing on a PlayStation game that's going wow.
Yeah.
Nothing at all. That Ratchet and Clank thing with the portals, that's beautiful. But I played Portals years ago. It did exactly the same thing. You got a game coming out called Splitgate. Have you seen that game, Splitgate? They finally got a date on it. A first-person battle royale game where you literally use portals to go from here to there.
It looks like arena, like it's like almost like a Halo-esque or like like a Quake-esque, like arena shooter
with portals.
with the portals mechanic.
Right.
Yes.
And I hate to beat this dead horse, but Titanfall 2 in the campaign, there's a level in the campaign where they give you a switch.
Look here. Portal.
You go back and forth
on the screen.
Exactly. I remember putting a portal up in the ceiling, a portal on the floor, and you're literally going boom, boom. You're going through the floor into another level.
Yeah. And you're going like super. You're going super speed too.
Yes, and there was an achievement for that where you have to get into like a certain speed MPH to get an achievement for it. I remember that. So you're telling me that you marketed this SSD as the next big thing is going to cure COVID?
Well, we were doing that back in 360 days.
Right. This is tech from 360. Like the way they framed it. They made it seem like there was never going to be a load screen ever again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But your console can't even play backwards the right way. And that's the thing with Sony. Sony's always been this way. Sony's been the PlayStation 3, the processor, cell processor, which killed their flow of backward compatibility. I killed it right there.
The micro cell processor, 8 cores. 8 cores.
This is the new thing.
Oh my god! And believe me, listen, MGS4 looks fucking amazing.
They are known for gimmicky shit, though.
I bought the PS3 specifically for MGS4, and then to come to find out, it got backwards compatibility, but it was only 60% or 80%.
Oh, wow.
What the because and that's what, but not everyone. Those were the fat PS3s.
Yeah.
Remember the fat, right?
Fat
So
boys.
fat PS3s, skinny PS3s, because the skinny PS3s didn't even have backwards fucking compatibility.
They cut that right out.
It was only because they said, "Well, we don't need. Oh, we have all of these games, but who's gonna play them?"
So even back then, they were saying, "Who cares about old games?
Who cares about old games? Like you jerk offs.
It's crazy though how people don't pick up on this. It's been years of Sony doing this. PlayStation 3, then they came out with the controller, then the Move. It's all like the biggest gimmick I think Xbox had was the Super Kinect, and I enjoyed that Kinect. I liked it. But the whole thing is that PlayStation has a history of introducing these technologies that make no sense, man, at all.
I was working for GameStop at the time. I pre-ordered the Kinect. I was that guy. I got pictures in GameStop where me and my whole team and squad are promoting the Kinect because that came out because I think the 360 Slim or something like that. Remember the black 360, like the Slim? Yeah. That one was launching with it. They had the S, the 360S.
Yeah.
And then they had the Kinect and stuff like that. We had the countdown clock, the whole thing. I pre-ordered it. I got it. I went home. Me and my brother were playing the stupid game because they had the
Adventures,
almost
Kinect Adventures or whatever it was.
Yeah, Kinect Adventures. And there we are, like playing tennis and whatever those games were and shit like that. Like that was cool. And then come to find out people using the Kinect controller or the Kinect camera to then go and set up like what would eventually basically become VR.
Yeah.
They were like doing those depth perception. They were using that camera.
In the hospitals.
They were using it in hospitals for scans, for X-rays and stuff like that. Camera was insane. That camera was being used for things outside of gaming. So it was a ploy, and then you got to connect with the Xbox One. I think they had like a Kinect 2 version.
That was a big backlash.
You still got yours?
On that. The Kinect for the One, yeah. Still got it.
I had my original one for a while. My original for the 360 I had for a while, but I think I had sold it at that point.
That was my first venture into the whole video recording, like content creating.
Yeah.
Like, I used to record like Titanfall 2 and Battlefield, and like with that camera record, it was a beautiful thing because that's when they had the studio and the recording. I can't. I wish they would not get rid of that, man.
Nah, I wish they still had it. At some level still had it.
At some level, yeah, because right now the recording on it is abysmal. It's abysmal.
Yeah.
Yes, I can criticize Xbox as well.
Yeah, I liked it at first and everything, especially with the Snap when we had Snap back then. That was awesome.
The Snap. I hear there's a rumor that they might bring that back. There's a rumor. Like I don't know. I mean, Twitter. Somebody had said something about that. They're talking about doing it. Like I think Aaron had said something. They're looking into it or something. Aaron Greenberg, but. That Snap feature was the thing, man. I love that. I used to watch my NFL package that way.
I had Yahoo Fantasy.
I was the guy they marketed.
Yahoo Fantasy on mine.
Yeah, I was the guy they marketed when they were on stage talking about, look, you can put the NFL Fantasy up in the game, and if you got the package,
it didn't update fast, but it still worked.
It still worked. But I was that guy, man. Bring back the old blades too, the 360 blades. Yeah. I used to play with that all day.
Just hitting the RB and shit like that, just going back. Yeah.
So what systems do you guys still have? Like the old stuff?
Well, I still own all of them that I own. Like obviously I got my new Xbox. I got the One X. I got the 360, black and white. Because the black was a slim one. I don't have the Kinect from the 360, but I do have the Kinect from the Xbox One X. I have my PlayStation 3, PlayStation 2. Still got that one. I got my Super Nintendo. I got my Nintendo 64, my GameCube. That's about it. That's what I got.
Wow.
I have a GameCube, and I have it's somewhere in storage. The 360. I have my Modern Warfare 360. It was like a Modern with the special edition one. The Modern with the gray one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then, like, many different times, like, I had a PS4 Pro. I sold that because the PS4 Pro I literally bought last year to play Final Fantasy VII Remake. Like, that's how if a game gets me to a point so much where I want to play it, I will buy a system specifically to play that game. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
And it's not a waste for me because that, to me, you know, that's how big of a game that is that I wanted to play that remake. And I played it. I loved it. You know, it's like...
What do I have? I got the 360 Slim, the black one, the black matted one. It's boxed up in some kind of crate that I have back there. What else? I got the Xbox One S, but I got the Minecraft edition.
Oh yeah, the white box.
No.
The box was white.
No, is it a pixel? It's like green. Doesn't it look like Safari? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I couldn't sell that one. That one's just too unique. It looks really good.
Why did I think that was white? That's crazy.
Listen, some of those special edition Xboxes that they put out, I mean, I wanted the gunmetal gray PS3 that they did for Metal Gear Solid 4. They did a gunmetal gray PS4 is like a special edition but it was so fucking limited and it was so expensive that I wasn't able to get my hands on it.
That's one thing that the P5 can do. They can literally take advantage of the side panels and make like
they can make some
a collector's edition game for the ones that buy the hardcore.
Oh, but look insane.
Slap with that like $100 package with a game and 2 side panels and make it God of War. Make it and they can partner up with what's his name?
There's enough space to put a lot of stuff on that.
You've seen the custom video. Have you seen the custom videos that people have done where they take off the panels? I saw somebody make a 24-karat gold-plated.
Well, I saw somebody make a wooden console out of it.
Yeah, the wooden wood as well too. Like crazy creative shit that they're doing with it.
Oh,
you know?
The thing is, PlayStation knocked people down not to do it. It was a company that was out there trying to do these side panels. They trick them.
They were like, nope.
And they're not doing nothing about it.
And they're not doing anything themselves.
Everybody was like, oh, they're doing that because Sony's going to come out with theirs 9 months later. Where the fuck's it at? Like,
it's the same conversation. It's the same conversation I had with Big V, where he literally had money off to the side to buy an expandable hard drive for the PlayStation 5. You had a consumer that was ready to pay you extra money for something that you weren't ready to fucking provide for them.
You did that to him.
That's what's correct.
Yeah. What else I got? I got the One S, that Minecraft. I still got the One X, which is still being used.
Mm-hmm.
And I got the...
You saw that article.
Series X and Series S.
One X, right?
What?
That Microsoft is going to bring next gen to the
cloud. Through the cloud? Yeah.
Which is going to help them just focus in on current gen games, being current gen games. And if you still want to play it on the Xbox One X, you can play it through the cloud. That's amazing.
Good. Yeah.
That's just mind-blowing. Like, wow, we don't want you to just throw away your console, nothing. You can't get an Xbox Series XS, play with your One X through the cloud. It doesn't take any additional resources.
Reverse backward compatibility or something.
It's crazy. It's like, what is this? Like, what black magic are they working that they're doing this? And again, they think about the gamers. It's why I stay with Xbox. I continuously praise Xbox, not on a fanboy level, on a fan level, because Xbox keeps doing this for gamers. Yeah. You have we have a guy in our group, Money. P Money. We have a guy. He doesn't have the next gen yet. He still has the One X. That right there is going to help him play with us on next gen just to the cloud. How amazing is that? Like, wow, you're not leaving nobody behind. You want
at no additional cost.
Yeah.
Nope. Same hardware, same software. Is going to play. It's crazy.
It's crazy.
It's on another level. I think Xbox has changed they don't care about console wars. They don't care about that. They don't care how much that sells. What they care about is getting the games, as many people to play the games as possible.
Yeah.
Whether it be
they want the subscriptions now. They're playing the long game. They want the subscriptions. That's when they have TVs that are going to be launching in the next year or two that are going to have basically your Game Pass subscription, like the ability to just have an Xbox controller to then connect right to your TV, and you don't need to have the console, and then just boom, or turn your TV currently and just get a little adapter, almost like a Chromecast. Boom, plug that in, and then now you have access to xCloud.
You go on your vacations, you take the dongle with you, and you take a controller.
Take my dongle with you. I'm gonna take my dongle with me.
Why you gotta do? Don't do that. It's weird now. It's weird now.
Dongle.
Yeah, I'm interested in that dongle thing. Huh? Your dongle?
Hey,
I don't want to mess with your dongle. Here comes trouble. I think he's telling.
How about here's the next.
I think it's gonna be time. Yeah. What were we gonna say, Logic?
Yeah, one last
Go
quick
ahead.
thing. No, just one last quick thing. Just was something more for people to be mad about for no particular reason. The update Xbox Series X game case design coming later this year that people are losing their minds over because now the games that come out, it's just going to say optimized for Series X.
The white tag?
Because it's physical. So instead of it saying, remember, it would say optimized for Series X and S, right? It would just say X, but why would it only say X? Well, logically, it's the only console that could play physical media.
Yeah.
The S cannot. So even though it will work and be optimized for the S as well too, not perfectly because we already know there's differences between the consoles, but truly it's for the X. People will lose. That could cause confusion.
Of course.
That will be people will be confused. It's misrepresentation. It's false advertisement.
People will never be satisfied, man.
Fucking weirdos.
That's what legal calls them. Weirdos. Don't ever buy an iPhone if you're that confused. Don't ever buy an iPhone.
Oh my god.
You will be so lost.
Okay, I'm not an iPhone guy. I'm more of the iPad because I need a bigger screen, for certain things.
Yeah.
And but when I look at their collection of phones, I'm like, oh my god, which one's the better one? Which is the best one? I can't figure it out.
I've been on iPhone for a couple of years now, like 3 years, and even me, I'm like, I go to the store and or I call because I order my phone to like Amazon or whatever. But lately I've been calling it in. I'm like, which is the latest one?
Yeah.
It's the XS1, X5, X2T. I'm like, is that the latest one? Yeah, that came out last year, but is that the latest one? Oh wait. The latest one is the XX5, 2, 3, 5, 4, 3, 1, 2.
Yeah.
I apologize. That's the one I want. Like that's how it gets. But if you're that confused with technology, you shouldn't be in the console game. If you're that bad about what's this and what's that.
A few years back, I bought the Pixel 4 and I bought the XL because I like big phones.
That's a good phone.
I like big phone. I still have it. It's a good phone. But when I got my Samsung, the Galaxy, I saw there was 3 different variations. I'm like, okay, I know what this one is. I know what that one is. Where are these middle two though? It's like I don't know what these are. And then when I started comparing, like, oh, the Ultra one is the best one, so I had to go with the Ultra one.
Ultra 5G wideband.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Remember that when they started throwing that one at you, like 5G wideband, like what?
Yeah. When I worked at Best Buy, that was the worst, especially with Android tablets, like the Galaxies. Yeah. Like, it was the worst because it'd be like. No, actually, what's the difference between the Note and the Note Plus, and what's the Galaxy this and the Note?
So my kids, they just go through tablets like crazy, right? But we usually get them like cheapo ones just because we know they don't take care of them, right? So my older son, he uses the Fire HD, the Amazon, which is like a $50, $60 tablet, and he just, he destroys them after a while. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get him a better. He's a bit older now, so I was like, all right, I'm gonna get him a more premium tablet. I'll get him a Samsung one, right? I had to go to the Android site, to a forum, and ask the people there, okay, which one is a middle variant of the tablet, the Samsung? Because I see all these A, B, C, E, and whatever numbers they attach to it. It's like I don't know which one's which.
Yep.
All I'm going by is price tag, but which is like the middle ground. I don't want it too high end. I don't want it too low end. I just want it somewhere in the middle,
You probably didn't need one that had LTE or 5G, that had cell service in them as well, too. But that's another thing as well, because you have different price points just for that. If you have the ones that actually allow cell service or not. We were talking like an extra $100 or $200 sometimes on that tablet.
Just be glad you didn't get me as a salesperson, because I would say, give me a second and look in the back. And I'm really looking at e-learning to figure out what you're talking about.
They have so many variants. I'm like, I don't know which one's the middle ground one, They don't go by like 1, 2, 3, they're like 1, 2, A, B, and then.
When I worked at AT&T, everybody in my store, and I was sales, everybody in my store, even the workers, they would all fucking send their customers to me. They would sell them everything that they had to sell them. And even though they had to help them set their shit up, they knew that I knew what the fuck I was doing because I actually cared about it versus them. They just said, okay, here's your shit, get the fuck out. Yeah. But yet they'd say, no, go, Luke, no, you transfer all your information Go to him. And oh, you brought your laptop? Go to him. And then there's my boss looking at me. I'm with a fucking customer for like 30 minutes. Wasn't even my customer at that point. And I'm just transferring shit over and stuff. Galaxy tablet. Who bought an iPad? Who's switching from an iPad to a Galaxy? How do I get my pictures over? How do I transfer? What is this, cloud thing that you talk about? Forget about it. I can't. And that's why I left retail.
Yeah. Retail sucks, man. I couldn't do it anymore. I did.
What are you showing me now? What are you looking at now?
I was just looking at the scores. Your Yankees won. Okay. So
Yankees won, Mets won, DeGrom went out. I don't know why this thing keeps losing focus on me. It doesn't like me. DeGrom ran out. He threw 3 scoreless innings and then he went out with tightness. But we already knew that he was hurt.
Isn't he always hurt though?
Is it New York tightness? Like I'm tight that I did 3 innings only, or like something muscle tight?
He said the Mets ace DeGrom leaves start versus Cubs with shoulder soreness.
Ooh,
after 3 perfect innings.
That is not good.
No, but he was sore already too, and he pushed it. He wasn't supposed to start, but this is what happens when you have a .62 ERA, and you're the fucking talk of the town, and you're the talk of the league, and they want to give you the Cy Young right now, or actually. I got friends of mine who are Mets fans that they just it's not the Cy Young Award anymore. It's the DeGrom.
The DeGrom Award, yeah.
It's the DeGrom Award. It's like, all right, before we idolize this man, like I understand what he's doing is pretty.
They already tried to build a statue for him and everything.
But it's like let's wait until the end of the fucking season and let's see if he can even finish this out. Because what do you say then if he can't even finish this out? God forbid if something's wrong with him.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with sports in general. This for what's been happening with like injuries that were not known to be that bad, and they played through it. Now it's like tightness in the hammy, tightness in the calf.
I don't know, man.
It's just pulling muscles. Like, are they getting the right people in the training support team to like do what they got to do?
Sounds like they need some steroids.
If they got to go through that, go through that. Tech, seriously, man. For the last few years, as Yankee fans. That's all we get.
Who's hurt? Who's pulled it? Yeah. My grandmother used to say, God rest her soul. You used to say, oh, look, another one, he pulled his dick. That's what she used to say. Like, swear to God. No, my old school, she's Italian. God rest her soul, like I said. Like, but that's literally like whenever she'd read in the paper, like, oh, this person got help. And it's like, Grandma, what's the matter? She'd go, oh, somebody pulled their dick. Like, what? It was like, because it was a groin. They said like a groin injury. But they pulled their would say because she'd be pissed that they were fucking out, that they were injured. You know what I mean? But that's what it is now, because every little thing. Chapman with the fingernail thing a couple of weeks back. It was like his fingernail was. I'm like, oh, stop. You know what I mean?
These players are made out of shit right now, man. Like I don't get like they get paid millions and millions of dollars. And the one thing that they get me, I'll leave on this note. The one thing that got me upset was a couple of years ago when Stanton posted a video of him bench pressing a model. And I'm going, that's the worst look you could do right now. And then
such a Yankee move.
It's a prima donna move. Like, seriously. Now, 2 weeks in the season, guess what this man pulls? His hammy. Out for like 6 months of the year.
Oh.
But you're out there bench pressing models on Instagram. Why? Like, you got the biggest bod on the top side, but the slinkiest legs on the bottom. What are you doing with yourself?
Ridiculous.
And I'm getting tired of these power hitters getting these hammy injuries. You're not doing nothing. You're not stretching your legs. What are you doing? Like, are you not working them out? Are you not learning yoga? I don't know. Whatever you gotta do to build stamina on those legs, do it. But anyways, I digress on that note.
Build them legs, kids.
Build them legs.
Work on your legs.
Don't skip leg day.
Drink your milk, even though that was a farce. That's bullshit. That's complete. Hey, builds bone bullshit.
I don't know, man. It's my kid drinks it and he's getting big, so it could be just fat. Then I guess.
Listen, with all the fucking GMO and everything that they load up
and
pasture, unless you're getting organized, organized. You hear me? Unless you're getting organic milk or things like that, all the shit that they put inside of it to neutralize antibiotics and all of that shit, please. Yeah. I don't want to hear.
Hey, that little guy you saw, he's a thick guy, but that boy can move, man. Like, he's fast. Little jerk. I'm like, get that.
I used to be a big milk drinker, so I found out what the hell.
He will throw his, like, look, Daddy, look. And then he'll run to one of the bedrooms, where there's a bed. You can see the bed clearly through the doorway, and he'll just run and like jump and like roll over to the other side.
Nice.
You got to put them in. What's the Pee Wee football? What do they call that again? Pop Warner.
I need it.
Like Pop Warner. Yeah,
I think Pop Warner.
Well, over here on the I don't know what they call it other places, but over here it was like Pop Warner or something like that.
Do they call it Pop Warner out there in Texas?
I don't know what they call it here.
I'm sure they have it though.
I'm sure they have
it. I mean, I've seen them, but
from 3 they got.
Oh yeah, Texas. They like football here.
Texas is all about football there, man.
They like football. They like farming. And they like the Cowboys.
Oh, the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Best thing about the Cowboys when the season's over.
Yeah. I cheer for any team that goes against the Cowboys. You're like, oh, you're for the Cowboys? Like, no.
Yeah, I'm not
for the other team.
I hate the Cowboys.
Yeah. So, all right, man. Well, let's end it. He's over there yelling at me a little bit.
Thanks again, buddy, for like inviting us, man.
This is always fun. This is always fun. So whoever's rewatching this, where can they find you? You know, the good old stuff. Where can they find you?
Well, Tech, they can
Sensei
find me on Twitter
Logic.
doing the Sensei Kills thing on Twitter actively every day of the hour, on the hour. And also, we have a podcast that comes out every Sundays at 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. You guys can find me there.
Wait, 5 o'clock?
5 o'clock Eastern Time.
Is it 5? I thought it was
Eastern
1 for some
time.
reason. Okay, 5 o'clock.
And that's why Tech keeps missing our podcast.
I'm looking at 1 o'clock. It's like he lied to me.
So it's 5 o'clock, young boys and girls. 5 o'clock Eastern Time. Me and Logic have our own show, Sensei's Thoughts, over on YouTube. We always put up the link for you guys to go visit the link. We'd appreciate if you guys go over there and just check us out.
Oh, look who decides to show up.
Talking.
Fireboss.
Oh, boss man.
Fireboss.
Wow. Okay. All right. But that's where you can find me. I'm on Twitter, Sensei Kills.
He's an active one for sure.
I'm very active. I blow up your timeline all the time. But my shit is not toxic. My stuff is pretty much like, just facts. That's what I throw out there. And I like kind of shake the bees hive a little bit every now and again. But me and Logic, you can find us on Sunday at 5 o'clock, not 1 o'clock. 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. We do that on purpose. Yankee games got to get watched first before we go on our podcast.
There you go.
Yeah. So
unless it's Sunday Night Baseball and then it's not a long podcast at 5, then we're
shorter
just
podcast.
Anyway. It's just shorter podcast. So.
But that's where you can find me, Logic.
Yeah, man. Logic's so sick. Unit Logic on Xbox. Definitely some of those invites. I've been getting a lot of invites, like a lot of friend requests. Like I'm hoping it's people that are just listening to us on these various things. I mean, I put it inside my Twitter handle and stuff like that. It's cool. I haven't played with anybody online yet, but I know we're planning on doing that. And Tech, I just want to say thanks again for just having us on. It's always cool chopping it up with you, man. Even though you're an Astros fan, and honestly, I truly want to say that I hate your fucking guts, but I don't, because you're cool. It's just a team that you
met
support.
an actual Astros fan, and I kind of like them.
It's not even. It's just you're the right, exactly. Like I could say, like I have a friend who's an Astros fan. He's not a scumbag. Just the team that he supports are. So that's fine. I'll deal with it.
I confirm.
I'm going to have to go to a Yankees game when the Astros are in town one day and see how they go. But they sell out, though, all the time, right? It's hard to get tickets.
I mean, they haven't been now anyway with everything. I mean, listen, tickets are fucking expensive, especially over here in a game and stuff like that. Like
they're trying to make up that whole last year thing. They're trying to make all that up right now.
Yeah.
But just to clear it up, enunciation, he's not saying asshole. He's saying he's an Astros fan.
Oh, okay.
So he's not an asshole. He's an Astros fan, is what we're trying to say. So just to clear that up. But I appreciate it, man. Tex, always good chopping up with you, man. We love coming here, man.
Yeah,
love it.
And this is show number 2. Yay!
Show number 2.
I have no title yet. It's just
let's find a title.
We'll name it later. We'll name it later, just like our pod. We don't have it's Sensei Thoughts. It's Sensei Thoughts podcast, but we're working on things. We're leveling up. We're seeing what's going on. We're playing around with some stuff. So, but same thing with this. I think sometimes the best time to get a title is just it'll just come organically, naturally.
Yeah. Something will click. And like, oh, you know what? That sounds like a good thing.
It might come with a guitar too.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll play on the whole Yankee Astro thing at this point.
There you go. Yeah, I'll play. I got the DVD of the playoffs, so I can we can stream that if they allow me to. MLB might slap me.
You know, we should do that. We should do like a podcast.
No, my back. You know what my next picture is going to be for the next podcast? It's going to be Altuve with his fucking shirt off.
Ah.
That's what it's going to be. It's going to be the 11. I'm going to fucking get it. No, I'm literally just going to make the cutout, right? And it's just going to be Altuve in all of the Instagram photos that he took before 2017 with his fucking shirt off. And then, if Tech will allow me, if not, that's fine too. I'll just fucking link it, and hopefully somebody will find it on Twitter. And I'll just keep sending the video of the interview that he did after he hit the home run against Chapman. Why didn't you want them to take off your shirt? And and we'll just relive that moment.
The biggest home run of your career against one of the best closers.
My wife, I'm shy. My wife
said no shirt breaky.
Hey,
my wife.
He's a humble guy. He don't want to show off his pecs,
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Like it struck a nerve there. All right, here comes my little boss, man. No, don't show your stomach. They can see you. They can see you. I got the good camera. They can see
Demonetize.
Yeah, demonetize. Kids are no. Yeah, we don't want it. No.
Yeah, we don't want that.
We're gonna have to cut. You're just gonna have to cut the last 20 seconds of this.
Yeah,
I'm using this camera, and it has a better field of view, so they can see you.
Why do they?
Because I have a camera right here, it's straight in front of me that I usually use.
Right.
And I'm using this side one with the GoPro. And sometimes when he stays in the corner, well, he's safe. Because the other camera is just straight on with me.
Yep.
But I see that you have the Yeti.
But not the GoPro. GoPro has a better field of view, so when he walks in, you can see him when he walks in. Come here.
Yeah.
You can say hi.
Use my Yeti.
He's like, whatever. All right, guys.
Yeah, he's gonna be all shy. Man.
Yeah. All right, guys.
All right, man.
All right. Talk to you guys later. See you in Twitter world, and we'll try to do this again. Bye.